September 11th, 1697. The Ottoman army, led by Sultan Mustafa II, marches towards Transylvania. It is a massive force, numbering over 30,000 soldiers, camp followers, and supplies. The Sultan, confident after years of campaigning, sees no reason to expect trouble. The Austrians have been on the defensive for much of the war, and the Ottomans believe their advance will continue unchallenged. By late afternoon, they arrive at the banks of the Tisa River, near the town of Zenta. The decision is made to begin crossing. A long wooden bridge, hastily constructed by Ottoman engineers, stretches across the water. The crossing is slow, with thousands of men, wagons, and artillery moving one after another. The army is vulnerable, but the Sultan does not expect an attack. However, beyond the horizon, hidden by the terrain, a different force is watching. Prince Eugene of Savoy, leading a smaller but disciplined Austrian army, has been following the Ottomans for days. As he observes the scene before him, he realizes that fate has placed the enemy in his hands. The Ottomans are divided. Half their forces are still on one side of the river, while the other half is trapped in the process of crossing. It is the perfect moment to strike. The Austrians prepare for battle. Soon, the silence of the evening will be shattered by the roar of cannon fire and the clash of steel. The Battle of Zenta is about to begin. The sun sets over the Tisa River, painting the sky in deep crimson and orange. In the stillness of dusk, the Austrian army makes its final preparations. Every musket is loaded, every sword is drawn, every cannon aimed. Prince Eugene of Savoy watches the Ottoman army spread before him, a vast sea of men and tents, oblivious to the storm about to descend upon them. Then, with a sharp, decisive motion, Eugene lowers his sword. The order is given. The first cannon roars, splitting the evening air. A deafening explosion follows as a cannonball crashes into the Ottoman camp, sending debris and bodies flying. Within seconds, a dozen more shots echo across the battlefield. Tents are ripped apart, wagons explode, and men scream in confusion. The once calm riverbank erupts into chaos. Before the Ottomans can react, the Austrian musketeers advance in disciplined formation. They move like a single entity, pausing only to unleash deadly volleys into the disorganized enemy. Smoke from gunpowder thickens the air, obscuring the battlefield. But the Austrians press forward relentlessly. The Ottomans scramble to respond. Officers shout desperate orders, trying to rally their troops, but the surprise is too great. Many have abandoned their weapons and flee toward the bridge in a frantic attempt to escape. The wooden planks groan under the weight of hundreds, then thousands of men, pushing and shoving, each trying to save himself. Meanwhile, Austrian cavalry storms in from the flanks. Their sabers gleam under the moonlight as they cut down fleeing soldiers. Any semblance of order in the Ottoman ranks collapses. The bridge, their only hope of retreat, becomes their doom. The weight of too many men causes it to crack. A horrifying moment of silence. Then, with a thunderous crash, the structure gives way. Hundreds plunge into the river, struggling against the strong current. Some try to swim, but with armor and weapons dragging them down, the river soon turns red with their blood. From a safe distance, Sultan Mustafa II watches in horror. His great army, the pride of the empire, is being slaughtered before his very eyes. He hesitates for only a moment before turning his horse. There is nothing left to do but flee. The night continues to echo with the sounds of musket fire and the dying cries of men. The Battle of Zenta is no longer a battle, it is a massacre. As the first light of dawn breaks over the battlefield, the once mighty Ottoman army lies in ruins. The Austrians, having crushed the enemy's main force, now move through the smoldering remains of the Ottoman camp. Bodies litter the riverbank, some still clutching their weapons, others sprawled in the mud where they fell. The Tisa River, once calm and reflective, now carries the broken remnants of the empire's pride downstream. Some Ottoman soldiers, having survived the night, emerge from hiding among the reeds, their hands raised in surrender. Others, too wounded to move, moan softly as Austrian soldiers pass them by. For many, mercy is granted. For others, especially the Janissaries who fought to the last, there is no quarter. Eugene of Savoy surveys the battlefield, his armor smeared with soot and blood. He knows the victory is decisive, one of the greatest in Austrian history. Reports begin to arrive. Over 20,000 Ottoman soldiers are dead, thousands more captured. The Sultan's treasury, abandoned in the chaos, is now in Austrian hands, along with countless weapons, banners, and horses. News of the disaster spreads quickly. In Istanbul, the Sultan is humiliated. The loss at Zenta is more than just a military defeat. It is a crushing blow to Ottoman prestige. The empire's centuries-old dominance in Central Europe is beginning to crumble. For the Austrians, the Battle of Zenta marks the turning point in the war. The Holy League, emboldened by this overwhelming victory, will soon push deeper into Ottoman lands. Within a few years, peace will be signed, and vast territories will be lost by the empire. But for now, on the banks of the Tisa, the victors stand among the ruins of their enemy, knowing they have changed the course of history in a single night. The Battle of Zenta did not just shift the tide of war, it altered the course of history. With the Ottoman army shattered, the Treaty of Karlowitz in 1699 forced the empire to cede vast territories, marking the beginning of its long decline. Hungary and Transylvania passed into Habsburg hands, and the Ottoman Empire, once feared across Europe, would struggle to recover its former might. Eugene of Savoy emerged as one of the greatest military minds of his era. His victory at Zenta cemented his reputation, and he would go on to win numerous battles against the Ottomans in the coming decades. His strategies and reforms influenced European warfare for generations. For the Ottoman Empire, the loss was catastrophic. The Sultan, Mustafa II, faced immense pressure from his court and military leaders. Within a few years, he was deposed, and the empire entered a period of internal strife and political instability. Zenta was more than just a battle, it was a symbol of change. The Habsburgs solidified their dominance in Central Europe, and the Ottomans, for the first time in centuries, were forced to acknowledge their limits. The war was far from over, but the balance of power had shifted, and it would never be the same again.